Alrighty, we are going to get started here in just a second. I've got a couple of new designs. And as you can see by all of this mess here, we were busy last month. This is just a little bit of what we did last month. And we've got some more little guys here. You're not a good one, you're a good one. But yeah, this is everything that we've done in the last month-ish. Not everything, but most of everything. But today, we are going to stitch out our November free design that will be on my Facebook group. I need to get a piece of clear vinyl here, though. Where are my scissors? Here are my scissors. So, I have effectively just went ahead and switched over to everything Christmas. So, that is essentially what this is going to be. This is a Christmas Tinkerbell. And she's absolutely adorable. We'll start off with our placement stitch here real quick. Come on. Please don't give me problems today. That's all I had yesterday was one problem after the next. And I wasn't up for it. Son of a bitch. Ugh. You are not my friend, thread. That's the way you're going to be. Are you going to catch it all? No? Okay. Well. Hi, Susan. I just don't even know what you're doing. Gets caught. So tired of it getting caught, but I don't want to take it back to the shop because at this rate I may never see it again. So we're just dealing with it. We're just dealing with it. I don't know why. That just didn't even catch any of our thread. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Alright, so I'm going to run the placement stitch for vinyl. forgot to grab my box of glitter. And naturally it was in the other room because I was using it yesterday. Okay, so we are going to use some glitter on this. Ooh, I think this one. I think we're going to use this iridescent blue glitter for snow. Hello, Daisy. How are you? Okay, so we're going to kind of do this like we did Madame Pagoda. And this one, I'm going to include a applique-free version of this because it would really be cute on just some plain glitter as well. So let's see here. I need, I'll just, I guess, put it in my hand. I don't have one of my small brushes. Let's see how well this one does. Awesome. Well, you have come to the right place because we do a lot of that here. Okay. Oh, you're just going to go deeper down into the brush. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just have to use my fingers on this one. So, I'm just going to kind of give her what basically just kind of looks like some snow. And this iridescent glitter is really good at that. And it's a combination of fine, chunky, and like super fine glitter. Let's see, I don't want the big stuff. Can we get this little stuff in there? Maybe. Alright, it's fine. Thank you. You have a good day too. Okay, so now that we've got our snow on, we're going to put a piece of clear vinyl over it. And it's going to kind of give it a snow globe effect. And the vinyl is going to kind of have a bit of a static cling to going on. So, and the needle will go right through the glitter that's on there, so it's not going to be a big problem about stitching or anything. Alright. So I am not going to even bother with cutting away the vinyl at this point. We're just going to put another applique piece essentially right over it. Okie dokie. And if you're new here, I say okie dokie and alrighty a lot. Just because. Favorite words and all, you know. So now I've got to grab, and of course, if you want to do this in vinyl, you can do it all in vinyl, but I am not. I'm going to grab, where are my, there's my snippies. I'm going to go grab a piece of felt. I forgot what it was called there for a second. So, I don't need a very big piece. We can go ahead and do our placement stitch here for this. So this is going to be Tinkerbell's face. Well, good morning, Sheila. How are you? For those of you that are new, this particular design that we are stitching out is going to be our monthly free design. I give out a monthly free design in my Facebook group. And, you know, every once in a while I feel like just adding even more stuff in there for free. Last month I did an extra little freebie. It's a holiday banner that basically you can take any kind of embroidery design that you wish and you can add it to the banner. It's just a blank template. And I like, you're going to be in the way of the review there. I like to take my little snippies here. Like, these are great. I love these. And I did finally get around to putting, like, a material list on my link tree. So if you follow the link in my bio and, you know, you're curious where I get things, I get a lot of my stuff off of Amazon. And there's a direct link to these little snips. Because people ask a lot. But I'll just take and I'll get really close around. Normally I wait till the end to do that, but I don't know. I'm just really excited to see how this one's going to turn out. Okay, so now we need her hair. So her hair is going to stitch out on top of our flesh color applique piece. So that's, I kind of didn't cut it, you know, perfect where her hair is going to stitch out, so, because I'm just not really worried about it. I have found that quite a few people have this machine and they don't know how to use it. I do not know how to use the sewing portion of it. I've always just had the embroidery foot on it. But I've heard that it sews quite well. Oh, that's nice to know. I love these snips. Like, I have one for every machine that I have. I have one for, it's stuck on my hand. I just bought another pair for my other embroidery machine, and I have a pair for my sewing machine in the other room. They're just, yeah, they're really, really nice. Okay, we are stitching out swimmingly. And my other machine over by the window, I have been stitching out snap clip sheets. And I really like this color combination. It's like a burgundy red with peach. And they go with this pumpkin pattern here. Thank you for the likes. I need a serger. I do know for sure that I need a serger. Just not exactly sure where I would put it at this point. Alright, so we've basically got the hard part down here. So her hair, look at that nice little texture on her hair. It's adorable. And she actually didn't take all that long to digitize. My mother is calling me. Okay. So now we're going to get her little red hat going. And of course, this is just a test. I may end up having to do some tweaking and adjusting. So it's always nice to test everything out first. It's always important to call your mother. Okay, so definitely, I think I got a few too many glitter pieces in there, but that's okay. So this is stabilizer. This is 2 sheets of tearaway stabilizer that I'm using. White. I need white. Come on. There we go. Thank you for the follows. In my inbox the other day, I got a live survey from TikTok, and I told them how much that I did not like the fact that we could not use our computers to stream with. And then, of course, after I said that, it wouldn't let me submit it, so. Oh well, it's fine. We are stitching out new Feltie designs today. And if you don't know what Felties are, they are just little designs, little embroidery designs that are either stitched out on felt, or you can stitch them out on faux leather, marine vinyl, all that good stuff. And they are just a really cute little embellishment to whatever you would like for them to be. I personally like to use them as bow centers. I use them on crocheted cup cozies. I put them on hair clips. All kinds of fun stuff. It's whatever you can think to do with it, you can do with it. So this right here is, whoops, that was my finger. This is just felt. It's just regular acrylic felt. And then this right here is a layer of clear vinyl. This is not necessary for every project, but we're making kind of like a snow globe effect for her wings. So that is why that is there. I'll give you guys a little closer look. We are stitching out Tinkerbell. This is our November freebie in my Facebook group. So I just thought that I would let you guys see what we're doing here. And so next, what are we doing next? We're doing the holly. We're going to do some holly on her hat. And then, of course, these machines always stop at the same time. It never fails. They always stop at the same time. Is it that color or that color? I've got 2 different greens going on here. They're almost the same color. I think I like that one better. Whoops. I think I like the darker one better. it is super duper easy to learn how to use this machine. I've actually had several people ask if I would teach them how. I'm not the best teacher, but I can most definitely get you started in the right direction. YouTube is also a really good learning tool. That's kind of how I learned how to do it all, and then a lot of it has just been trial and error. When this is done, yes, it will be cut out. It'll sort of, you know, I mean, it's not going to be that exact, but it'll be cut out when it's done. She would absolutely make an adorable headband slider, Susan, and that is probably something that I will do. Felties are used for whatever you would like to use them for. I put them on hair clips and hair bows, but if you want to put them, damn it, if you want to put them on backpacks, they're backed with felt, so hot glue really bonds well. My preferred hot glue is the Gorilla Glue because it holds extremely well. And my machine is a little finicky. She's been sick, and she came back from the doctor worse than when she left. So I actually don't think I'm going to. I had a little vein stitched into the center of the holly, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to skip it. I think I'm going to take that step out because I think it really wouldn't matter if it was there or not. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the likes and the follows. So this machine will only go to a 4x4. So essentially as big as this square area is as big as this machine will go. So I can take and I can size this up to where it will fit the whole center section of the machine. And of course, you know, bigger machines have a bigger stitch area. But so far, this machine has fit all of my needs. And I just didn't argue when my husband insisted that I needed a bigger machine. So I didn't argue with him. He bought it, so I wasn't going to argue. I am using the SE625 from Brother. This is one of the most common and most cost-effective machines on the market. I just use felt as the back. I will, typically whatever I'm using on the front will go to cover everything on the back as well. It doesn't have to be that way. Some people will use a better quality felt on the front than on the back, but my OCD does not allow me to not have the same color on the front and the back. And then you can also just use the design as like a patch. You would get to the part where you would do your finishing outline stitches, and then you can just do the iron-on heat and bond. I forgot what it was called there for a second. You can just do the heat and bond. I digitize all of my own designs. So all of these designs that you see here, this is what we did last month. I like to design my designs, and then I bring them to you guys, and we stitch them out to test them on live streams. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a pink. I think it's pink. And I do sell these as finished product too. I know a lot of people don't have embroidery machines, aren't even interested in embroidery machines, but they use Felties for things. And all of my Felties ship out in sheets just like this. They all come as a 4-count. Yes, I sell my designs. The link in my bio will take you directly to my website or my Etsy shop, and they're all digital downloads. It just depends on how much stitching is involved. Like, I think this took like 15 minutes to stitch out, if that. But like, when this will be all grouped together, it's probably going to take 30 to 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. I have a couple that takes about an hour to stitch out because there's just so much stitching in it. Well, I'm pretty, like, this Santa head takes, this one Santa Claus alone takes 15 minutes to stitch out. But that's because he's got some pattern fills here in his hat, and his beard is all filled in. Okay, let's see here. Let me catch up here. Yes, this is Tearaway Stabilizer. I'm not a fan of the cutaway stabilizer. I bought some to use, and I just am not a fan of it. It still, to me, feels a little too flimsy. I do not teach how to use your machine. I've actually been thinking about making a few videos on how to do it, and I need to get some Feltie videos made. My YouTube channel has been kind of neglected here lately. So these, everything that I do, that I design for, it's either going to be 2 inches tall or 1.75 inches tall. I am terrible at fractions. I don't. That's what I don't even know. Yeah, that just, fractions are the devil. Fractions and decimals are the devil. No, my designs are not only for Brother. They come in 8 different file formats, I believe. On the item description, it will give you a list of what it comes in, but if for whatever reason your machine is not listed, you can always just message me and I can send you the correct files. This machine is a single needle machine, so it can only do one color at a time. You're welcome. I don't know everything. I am still learning a lot myself. I have only been doing this since about this time last year. But I tend to learn things very, very quickly, mostly because I obsess over them. Yes. Because it's only a single needle, everything has to be changed out every time. Typically, I don't take the hoop off unless I need to trim the jump stitches. I trim my jump stitches as I go. Some people don't. I just would much rather prefer to do it as I go, because then there's a little bit less that I have to do when it's finished. Plus, sometimes it's just easier to trim your stitches as you go. And that is why I have these. These little thread snips are a life-saving game changer. I was using a pair of scissors like this. They still had the pointy tip, but I was using a pair of scissors like that to cut all my jump stitches, and it sucked. I couldn't get in as close as I needed to sometimes. So I would use a seam ripper, and that just was causing all kinds of problems. I had to get my other machine started there. Okay, so what are we doing now? Okay, we are ready to put the back on her. She is almost done. This is really kind of where I will see whether or not things have been designed well enough. So we're just going to we've got our stitches, and we're just going to lay this piece of felt just right over those stitches. Some people will use spray adhesive to spray them on there. I don't, because the spray adhesive will gunk up your needles and your machine and all that other crap. Yes, they are. They are linked on my link tree, and they are just, I think I just put them on there as thread snips. I've linked the thread I use, the stabilizers that I use. I have linked to the digitizing software that I use. You're welcome. I will gladly share any information that I can with anybody. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, sorry, I don't give away my secrets. Like, you wouldn't believe how many creators I came across like that. And I'm just like, wow, okay. And like I said, in this one, there will be a version of this that does not have the vinyl applique on it, because you can get glitter felt. I just don't have any right now, or that's exactly what I would have done. So over here on the display screen, it tells you which color to use. I try to color match the best I can to whatever color it is that I'm using. And like when I do the finishing outlines, I sometimes have to change the color a little bit just to get everything to group properly. Because like when I'm in the software, if I just hit the button to just organize everything by color, it will take the outlines and move them up to where they were originally digitized. So I still try to keep everything as close to the original color as possible. Thank you for the likes. Thank you guys for the follows. I will say this is the biggest crowd we have had in here to date. You guys are awesome. Okay, so one more little go through. So we just did our red outline stitch. Now it is telling us that we need to do the green. Well, from one to the other will sometimes leave a jump stitch. So I just snip at either end to get rid of that stitch. It's kind of hard to explain without having anything on there, but I will try. Actually, you know what? I do have something. So these are jump stitches where we have ended here and we have jumped to the next one. If this was still on the machine, I would just trim everything that was on there to get ready for the next color. Because sometimes if you stitch over a jump stitch, your embroidery, the embroidery foot will get caught on this, and it can break the stitches. It can tear your project off of the stabilizer. It can do a whole lot of damage. They will even get caught up in other colors, and then if you have a black stitch that you should have trimmed and you're stitching white over it, it's going to show through, and it's just not fun. So this is just plain felt and a plain clear vinyl, and we put glitter in between it to kind of give a little bit of a snow globe effect. And I just want you guys to know that She stitched out perfectly the first time, and that hardly ever happens. Heck yeah. We like the emojis. I've been playing that game since the very first day it came out. Alright, so this is tearaway stabilizer, so basically that is just exactly what it is. You just tear it away. Different densities of stabilizers will do different things. I used a double layer because of how stitch heavy her hair is. Okay, so now I need some scissors. Some scissors. I can do anything that you would ask. To a point. To a point. Yes, you can put these on badge reels. Alright, so we're going to give her a little trimmy trim here. And I had this question asked on one of my videos last night. These are the scissors that I like to use the most. There's nothing special about these scissors. Absolutely nothing special about these scissors. They're an old, cheap, piece of shit pair of scissors. But they cut the best. They cut better than my fabric scissors. And they're comfortable. Like, the more comfortable your scissors are, the more control you will have over when cutting your projects out. And like, my husband sharpens all of my scissors for me. And I don't even own a pair of Ginger scissors. Like, they're too expensive for me. And I just don't really see the need to have a pair of scissors that expensive. Especially when my kids are just going to come and grab a pair of scissors because, oh, hey, we've got a pair of scissors in here. Doesn't matter that, you know, there are scissors for household use, and then there are scissors that you don't touch if you want to keep your fingers. Ta-da! There she is. She's freaking adorable. I love her. Okay. Let's see here. Let's catch up on some of our comments here. Yes, I cut these out by hand. The clear plastic is just a clear vinyl that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I actually got it in the sale bin. I like to search the sale bins for all of my vinyl and stuff like that. This could go on a badge reel, no problem. So I just lay the backing on and kind of hold it down as I'm sliding the hoop back in. Some people will use 505 spray adhesive. I don't. It's just one more step that kind of gets in the way. It's just, it's like upholstery vinyl. Like the marine vinyl that you can get at Joann's or Hobby Lobby is basically what that is. I don't know about a grade or a weight. I've never looked. It's a good question. I know I've got a giant sheet of white, and then I've got a giant sheet of black. And this stuff, Also, you can, this, I made a matte black. This is white marine vinyl that I got from Hobby Lobby that I used HTV vinyl on with my heat press. And I made my own. Because I ran out and I needed it and it wasn't going to get here in time. Alrighty. So we did our Tinkerbell. And I've got quite a few. It's like Disney Day, I think. So next we're going to do Baymax. We've got a Baymax Santa Claus. He's super simple. Super duper easy. He's literally white, black, and red. Alright, so what? I need black first. Well, hello, Michigan. I am coming at you from sunny central Oklahoma, where we're just hoping it's going to, you know, get a little cooler. Okay, so black. We're doing black here. And I have a method to my madness. Over here on the side, it gives you all of your colors. So I always run a placement stitch because it shows me where I need to put my material. So the thread that I put in will always be what is going to be the first color that is actually stitched out. So we will do that. And we run our placement stitch just right on top of our stabilizer. Hello. And then we break needles. Oh shit. My freaking thread was all caught up in a knot. How did you do that? Sit there for a minute. It's been a minute since I've broke a needle. Okay. No problem. So we broke this needle because my thread was pulling way too tight. I need my needles. This particular machine was very inexpensive. I got it at Walmart. And it was like $380. So we're talking like less than $400. But when it all comes down to it, you know, materials and stuff like that is going to put you well over the $500 mark. Especially if you're like me and you have to have all of the things immediately. Yeah. Make sure we're in there nice and tight. I have, when I first started, I was just stitching along and I didn't realize that my needle had fallen out. Like, I didn't have it tightened up enough. It just fell right the fuck out. Okay. So we're just going to skip right on over that. And we're going to go straight to making sure our bobbin is okay. So something that I have learned is that anytime you have any oopsies, any thread catch-ups or anything like that, take your bobbin out and just rethread the bobbin. And then, you know, cuss at your machine, call it all kinds of nice names. That helps too. Okie dokie. Oakley and Dokley. The kids have, I had my oldest nephew over, over the weekend, and yesterday he got himself suspended from school, so he stayed here with me. My husband's kids have never seen The Simpsons. They are 17 and 18 years old, and they've never seen The Simpsons. $200? Oh my gosh! That's an amazing price. So if you can get these for $200, then by all means, this is a perfect machine to learn on. Get off. I use organ needles. You can get these on Amazon in like packages of 100. I design all of my own images. This is a Brother SE625. Well, apparently you can get it at Walmart for like $200. Or Walmart.com. I don't recommend getting it off of Amazon, though. I think they're still pretty close to the original price on Amazon. So your bobbin thread coming through the top means that your tension on your top thread is too tight. Like my tension is set on a 3, but that's just because my machine is kind of weird. Anywhere between a 2 to a 6, it just kind of depends on your machine. There is a couple of tutorials on YouTube that show you how to find like your tension sweet spot. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. You're welcome. if you guys are new to this and you need some pointers or what have you, feel free to join my Facebook group. Just about everybody on there knows something about embroidery. I don't claim to know everything, but I will try to help you the best that I can. Plus, I give away free stuff. Our Tinkerbell, our little Tinkerbell design that we just did, this will be our November freebie. So you'll be able to get this design for free if you join my Facebook group. And the quickest way to get to my Facebook group is by following the link in my bio, and it will take you directly there. Hello. Let's see here. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the follows and all the likes. You guys are amazing. Well, I'm trying to have a great day. So far, our day has started off great. We tested a new design, and it stitched out perfectly the first time. That never happens. Never, ever happens. So, we'll see how well our Baymax does. I am still trying to figure out a good method to do patches, but as soon as I do, by golly, we're going to make some fucking patches. Yeah, it's a Baby Grinchy bow. This is just a design. I just kind of whipped him together over the weekend. And I freaking love him. So, I'm actually waiting on some green vinyl to come in so I can stitch him out on vinyl. Because, yeah, he's just absolutely adorable. And then we've got our little snowflake bow. This is not the final design for this bow. I went in and I redid it a little bit just because I didn't love it. But no, you do not put any image in it. You have to have an embroidery design file. You can buy those off of Etsy. You can get them for free on some websites and stuff like that, but it has to be, like, for this specific machine, it has to be a PES file, because that is what the machine reads. I got started doing this. It was kind of I was just watching it, you know, to kind of calm down and what have yous. And then I started making cup cozies just like this to sell at my craft shows. And I saw somebody put a Feltie on it, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking cute. So I started ordering them from other makers and what have you. Until I came across, I ordered some for a Christmas market, and then I never got them. I got them a month after the new year that year. So I was just like, okay, you know what? That's bullshit. I'll just do it myself. I'll just figure out how to do this myself. And it's kind of one of those crafts that once you start, you kind of can't stop. It is so addicting because you have to make all of the things. You just have to make all of the things. So, there are several different kinds of felt. You can buy merino wool felt. I honestly, not even gonna lie, this is how I buy mine. I just buy mine in sheets from the Hobby Lobby. Sometimes if I'm in absolute dire need of a certain color, I will look for at Walmart. These are Felties. They are embroidery designs that are stitched out on felt, or you can stitch them out on a faux leather or a vinyl, and they are just backed with felt. And you can glue these on to whatever you wish to glue them onto. I buy sheets of felt. Just like this, you know, just a regular from Hobby Lobby. They have the better color choice, and they're cheaper than Joann's. Easy this Baymax is. We're putting the back on him already. So this is what the back looks like. It's kind of ugly. So we're just going to take another piece of felt, and we're just going to put it right on top. And the felt this paper is kind of textured a little bit, so it kind of already sticks to it. A lot of the reason why I don't use any adhesive spray, because the tearaway stabilizer I use is already pretty sticky. I need red. I make my own designs. And my designs, I do sell my designs. No, this is a single needle machine. so you can only have one color at a time. I only have single needle machines. I don't have room for the big commercial machines. I would like to have room, but these kids won't move out. Gingerbread man ornaments. Wow. I use a digitizing software, and I will get on Etsy and I will buy SVG files that you would use in like your Cricut machine. And I just upload it to my software and I digitize it that way. So you can use these for whatever you think that you can make them for. Or whatever you can think you can do it with. I put these on cup cozies. I use them as bow centers, hair clips. They're really easy. You just put a clip on the back of it. And badge reels. A lot of people make badge reels out of them. But yeah, you can do whatever. This machine is the Brother SE625, and its max capacity is 4x4. So essentially, from this corner to this corner, and this corner to this corner, this area here is a 4x4 area. That's the biggest that you're going to be able to do. Now, that is a relatively big design. This is a headband slider. And this is it's like 3.9 inches tall, I believe. It's like you can't necessarily go 4 inches. It won't let you. You have to keep it under like 3.9. It's weird, but. Well, hello. I would love to have a commercial-sized machine. So you can either go to my Etsy shop or you can go to my website. The link for both of those is in the link tree in my bio. You just go to my bio page and then follow the link there, and it will take you to whichever you prefer. I will say that the stuff on my website is priced a little bit better than what it is on Etsy because, you know, Etsy and all of their freaking fees and all. So I use Hatch embroidery software. I sell these as a digital file for if you have your own machine, or I sell them in Feltie sheets where I stitch them out for you and then I just mail them to you. Everything is a 4 count. This is 1.75 inches tall. These are 2 inches tall. So your 2-inch Felties, most generally you're only going to get 2 on a sheet. So you would get 2 sheets of 2 to make your 4 count. Okay, Baymax. You're stinking cute too, buddy. You are adorable. And there's our Christmas Baymax. So we are using felt today. poop. Oops. I like to try to fit my testing designs all on. I like to get as many on a sheet as I can. So we're going to test out. I have some milk and cookies that I need to test out. So I may as well go ahead and utilize the rest of this space. I hate to waste stuff. Like, I keep all of my little bits of felt. And no, I'm not hoarding because there's a reason. You never know when you're going to need a little piece of felt for like an applique piece. And it's kind of pointless to use a whole giant piece for something that's only like this big. So I'll use all my small little pieces. This machine is a Brother SE625. Let's see here. I can move over this way a little bit, I think. This machine you can get relatively cheap at Walmart. You're welcome. And if you guys are just joining, some of the questions that I do get asked, I'm not going to say a lot, but it's a common question, are where do I get some of my basic materials and supplies. I've linked all of those on my link tree. So like, I've linked my snips, I've linked my stabilizers, my thread, all that good stuff. And it's all going to take you to Amazon, so. Because that's where I get the majority of my stuff. So I'm actually using 2 sheets of tearaway stabilizer. I am making Felties today. We're testing out some new Christmas designs that I designed over the weekend. I have a Bernina sewing machine that is older than I am. It was given to me by my husband's aunt. She is unfortunately no longer able to sew, so she gave me her machine. And then I bought this machine because it's a sewing and embroidery machine, because I was a little apprehensive at first. I didn't want to, you know, purchase a big machine and not like it and then be out thousands of dollars and my husband be pissed because it's just something else that just sits there collecting dust, like my Cricut. So I wanted to be sure that that's what I wanted. Because, you know, nothing else. The feet are interchangeable and I could just put the sewing foot back on it. But, turns out, I've never had the sewing foot on it, so I don't even know how it sews. Hatch is very easy to use, and they also offer a 30-day free trial. It's one of the very few embroidery digitizing softwares that offer a full trial. Hello, we are testing out some new Feltie designs today. So far, we've done this really cute Tinkerbell. She's a snow fairy. We've done a Santa Baymax, and we are now stitching out a glass of milk. I do not use Embrilliance because I couldn't test it out to see how much I liked it first. I wasn't going to pay however many hundreds of dollars first and not be able to use it very well and then just kind of be out that money. So I do not use Embrilliance. What I don't guess I understand what you mean by an embroidery kit. It is so much more user-friendly. And honestly, I recommend it to anybody that knows how to do that. You know, I don't know. You might be able to use them on Crocs if they were stitched out on, like, marine vinyl. It's not an app. You can use your iPad as a second screen and do it that way. But as for it just being an app, no, it's not an app. Yes, the machine does tell me what color is next. Right over here, it's basically kind of like if you're a graphic artist, you use different layers. So you basically digitize in layers, and each layer is a new color. And then you can group all of your light colors together, provided that they're not going to stitch out over something else or anything like that. This machine, when I bought it, was only $380, and I got it at Walmart. This Brother machine, 4x4 is the biggest size that it will do. So, like this guy right here, he's like 3.9, and not even kidding, he's like the size of my hand. My other Brother machine is a 5x7, so it can stitch out an even bigger. It stitches out an even bigger. Shit, I'm losing my words here. Area. So it would go, and I always cut my material just a hair bigger than what it needs to be, but like from here to here and then here to here, that's a pretty big, it's a pretty damn big area. Especially for a single needle machine that you can use at home, that's not necessarily going to take up a whole lot of room. Amanda, I do sell my files. They are in my Etsy shop, and I do have a website, and it is all linked in my bio. I use Hatch embroidery software. I do cut them by hand. I got an 800 about 3 weeks ago. Maybe a month ago. And I don't hardly use it. Shh. We don't tell my husband that. And honestly, I bought a 4x4 hoop to put on it. Because most of my designs are 4x4 friendly. Everything I do is 4x4 friendly, so if you have a small machine like this, you're going to be able to use it with no problem. Because that's kind of one of those things that when I started, I came across so many different designs that I liked, but they weren't necessarily 4x4 friendly. So I try to make sure that everything is friendly for everybody. Yeah, let's, I will spin you guys around here real quick. Maybe. Oh, we're hooked on a light. Okay. So here's my other machine. It's currently in the process of sitting here doing nothing. I'm prepping for craft shows this weekend and the next weekend, so I'm making my snap clips. And that really comes in handy for making a lot of snap clips at one time. So yeah, there's my bigger machine. I don't have patch videos. It's kind of something that I've been trying to figure out myself, because I've had people ask me if I can make them patches. So I'm working on it. I'm almost there, though. It's basically just a matter of coming up with a simple design to test out my theory on. Okay. So if you guys are just joining, I have a Facebook group that you are more than welcome to join if you have any questions. I do not at all claim to know everything, but I can help you get through things. And I also offer some free designs. This one right here, she will be uploaded probably later today as our monthly free design. And she's super duper adorable. They are not iron-on, but you could make them iron-on. Like, you don't have to put the felt back on it. You can put the heat and bond on the back of it. I just glue mine on. I use Gorilla Glue, hot glue, and I just glue everything on. And it adheres very, very well. I am not sure that I like the black line running through there. Oh, we're at the end of this program. So, like, right here, if you totally just wanted to leave the little glass of milk as a patch, you would basically just trim away all of your... Whoops, I forgot to trim Santa. Damn it. It's okay. Or Baymax. He's Baymax. You just trim away most of your loose threads, and then just put your heat and bond right on there. Just like that. I don't know about putting heat and bond on there and then stitching around that heat and bond. I don't know if it would, like, mess it up, or if it would mess up your machine or anything like that. I haven't tried it. My Facebook group, if you go to my bio, there's a direct link in my bio, because I do have a Facebook page too, and it will take you to both of them. So the quickest way to do it is just to follow the link in my bio. Exactly, trial and error. My whole learning process with my machine has been nothing but trial and error. I am a visual learner. There are not many videos out there on tips on how to use this machine, which is kind of sad actually, but it is essentially the SE600, and there's a couple videos out there on that. This machine was, when I bought it, it was $385, somewhere around in there. Just today in our comment section here, I've seen people say that their Walmart has marked it down to like $200, $265, and then there are some that are still saying that it is still $380. But I got this at Walmart. So if you have a Walmart store, or if you shop on Walmart.com. Oh, he's so cute. We have a little chocolate chip cookie. This machine, I don't know. I've not tried. I've looked for videos to see if you can do hats with it. I found one and then I lost it. I don't know what happened to it. But it's a little more difficult than, like, the PE800. I know it has the hat attachment that you can buy for it. I just don't know about this machine. Yes, it's a brother. Get off of there. Okay. I sell my Feltie files. They are on Etsy. They're $4.50, and on my website they are $4. And then my Feltie sheets are $6 on both Etsy and my website. I bought this one for, it was either $3.80 or $3.85. I'm not sure. I bought it last year. It is a 625, SE625. Alrighty, so here's Santa's glass of milk. And I have a chocolate chip cookie that goes with it. And then I even put them together as a milk and a cookie. So we'll see how well that looks. And it's just so wonderful. It makes my life so much easier when everything stitches out perfect the first time, which very rarely happens. And there's our Baymax claws, because I can just immediately, after we're done, I can go and start working on getting them uploaded. Okay. I do both. I sell files and Felties. Love my Frenchies. You can use them for whatever you can think to use them for. I put them on hair bows. I put them on cup cozies. I make hair clips out of them. I've been making some crochet bags here lately. And I've been putting them on my crochet bags. You can use them for planner clips. Okay. So on the side of your machine, there's going to be a USB port, and you just download your designs onto your flash drive, and you just plug it right in, and your machine kind of does the rest. So this is a Brother SE625, and it's just a single needle machine. So you're only doing one color at a time. Which, for my controlling this, that works perfect for me. I use either felt or faux leather, marine vinyl, all that good stuff. Whoa! Damn, Minnie, you got a big head. Okay. You're freaking huge. I don't want you that big. And in cases like this, if you do get a design that she's way too big for what I want, you can size them down or size them up no more than 10%. And your machine will allow you to do that. So I just hit the button and I'm making her smaller. And when it beeps, that's as far as I can go. So she's still a little bit wider than what I would like for her to be, but whatever. It's fine. It's Minnie Mouse. We don't care. This machine, the biggest you can embroider is a 4x4 space. So essentially the size of this little guy. And he's the size of my hand. So, yeah. It's a relatively decent size. And like I said, I always digitize a placement stitch in, so if you're just doing one design, or if you're putting this on something, you can stitch it out first, and then cover it. And it just stitches right on to our stabilizer. I'm not a fan of the cutaway stabilizer. To me, it's still too flimsy. So right now I'm using 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer. And it's giving me a pretty good stability. You don't need any kind of software when you use the USB. You just simply, whatever file format your machine needs, like on all of my design files, I export everything. It's like 8 or 9 different design files, and that way it covers just about every machine. You just take whatever design file you need for your machine, put it on your USB drive, and put it in your machine. But if you wanted to, like, take an image and add it to something else, or monogram it somehow, then you would have to have some sort of software that is able to edit a design. Yes, on this machine, the color has to be changed every time. do not sell snap clip files. My snap clip files I have bought from other designers. This file that I like this file a lot. Oh, my pumpkins are upside down. No. This one is by GG Designs. I think it's just GG. Capital G Designs, I think is what it is. I wanted a Disney machine just because it had Disney. Actually, I wanted the Star Wars machine, but I didn't get it. So this machine, I only paid $380 for it. Maybe $385. I don't remember. But it was around that $385 mark. So I cut my felt for my 4x4 designs, I cut it at a 4.5. I think it's 4.5 by 4.5. Or it may be a 4.5 by 5. I honestly don't know if they do any Black Friday sales. This machine is super duper easy to operate. It's not hard to set up or anything. I do have a Minnie Mouse bow file that I've been working on for a minute. I just can't seem to get it right though. Whoops. This is not by any means. This is like the very first copy of it and it looks like shit. But, you know, it's fine. But it's kind of like that. It's got a little more to it. I'm having a little trouble with it. This machine is an SE625, and it's a combo machine. So you can sew or you can embroider with it. So these are not exactly patches. These are Felties. They're stitched out on felt, or you can stitch them out on vinyl. This one's like a holographic glitter, but they are backed with felt, and I just glue them on. I use hot glue and I glue them. Like this one has been on here for about a year or so now, and she ain't going nowhere. felt. We are just making some Felties today. So this machine cannot have a bigger frame. I mean, you can put a bigger frame on it, but it still is only going to do a 4x4 area. The other machine that I have running right now is the 5x7, and you can have 3 different sizes on it, but the other sizes are smaller sizes. So, like this one actually, okay, so I may have told a little bit of the story here, but it kind of, I don't know, it's just nothing that I really think about. But this one you can also use, it's like a 1.5 by 2.5 inch hoop. So we're talking like a hoop that's only like this big. If I want to do that, something that small, I'm going to end up using this hoop anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But as for bigger, it just won't go bigger. We've got a few little problems there, I see. Nothing too major. Check on YouTube. YouTube has so many helpful videos. That is actually where I have gotten most of my information. That's where I basically decided what machine I was going to use for the first time. So, and when I got my second machine, I had to go to YouTube to figure out how to thread the damn thing, because it's not the same as how you would thread this one. Thank you guys for the follows and the shares and the likes and the just everything. You guys have been really great today. And this is actually the most people I have ever had in a live before, so that is stinking awesome. I appreciate it ever so much. This machine is a Brother SE625. You can get these at Walmart for under $400. They are very, very cheap. And you can sew with these two. This one is a combo machine. Probably. But, you know. Yes, everything that you see here is something that I have designed. So, like, tutorials on how to use the machine, or tutorials on how to make welcome. So the program that I use is, the last time I saw it was about $1,200. And I use Hatch embroidery software. They have an option that you can pay it out for like the first 12 months. You can pay $100 a month, and then it's all yours. I am actually, Cozy Crafts, I'm actually working on getting some videos uploaded to my YouTube channel on how to do things like that. Yes, you can upload your own designs to the machine. You just use a flash drive, and it's got a USB port in the side. Alrighty. So we may have to go through and give this Minnie Mouse a little bit of a tweak. She does have a few little things here and there, but for the most part she's okay. You guys are more than welcome to join my Facebook group. You can find a direct link in my bio. That's the easiest way to get there. But like, I give away free designs. This Tinkerbell is our November freebie. Free here in a couple of days as soon as I get her uploaded. The penguin is adorable. I do have this penguin, our Santa here. These guys are new, and I have yet to upload them yet. And then, our Mickey. I had a customer want some Disney cookies. So we've got some Disney frosted cookies coming. And then, let's see. This one is already on the site. I uploaded her pretty quick because she's just absolutely adorable. So yeah, all these guys right here are not uploaded yet, but they will be. And then everything else over, well, come here, bows. You can embroider bows too. So like, freaking cute. How cute is the little Grinchy bow? He's adorable. So yeah, everything else is already there. La 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 la. So many. Okay, so many. What are we doing here? Okay. La 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 la. Okay, so this machine is an SE625. It's a brother. I got it at Walmart. Frankie. Mickey is not on, or no, not Mickey. You were asking about the penguin. The penguin is not on yet, but he will be. We are making Felties. So, this is not printing or anything. This is embroidery. So we're actually stitching this. You would need a logo to be converted in embroidery software. You would need an embroidery machine, and then whatever it is that you're going to stitch it out on. The Penguin Santa and the package should be, I'm hoping, later on this afternoon. But I will tell you guys this. I let my Facebook page group, blah, blah, blah. I let my Facebook group know everything like the day before. So, that's kind of like one of the little perks to joining the group, besides getting free shit, because everybody likes free stuff. I let you guys know when new things have been uploaded before I post it anywhere else, because I do post in other Facebook groups that I am in, but I let you guys know first. I let you guys know about sales before they happen. You guys usually get like a day's notice on really good sales. You get coupon codes, special discounts, and all that other good stuff. I sell the designs, and for people that don't have machines, I also do sell Feltie sheets as well. So this is not a multi-needle machine. Each color has to be changed out after every color stop. So like over here off to the side, it tells you how many color stops you have. It actually, it's really cool. Let's see here. It will tell you how many stitches your entire creation has. It's going to tell you how many minutes it's going to take. And then it tells you how many color stops you have. This particular design has 11 color stops. And we're 13 minutes into our 15-minute time period. So, like, this one is, I don't even know what that's going to stitch out. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see what it is that it's going to stitch out. But, oh, this is her face, part of her face. So, we just put our color on there. I try to color match as best as I can. Like, if you know that this is a flesh color, you don't necessarily have to have the same flesh color that I'm using, but it's a flesh color, if that makes any sense. Yep, it is capable of a lot of things, but it does stitch slower, and I think because it stitches slower, that kind of helps do a little more complex work. Your auto threader, so you've got the eye of your needle, and when you pull your auto threader down, it's got this little hook that pushes the thread through. That little hook that pushes the thread through, they bend so easily. That's why mine stopped working. I have replaced the auto threader on this machine 3 times, and I've only had this machine for a year. So, yeah. There is one point that I was just like, fuck it, I'm not even going to mess with the auto threader. But then the timing got thrown off on my machine, and I had to send it in to the repair shop. And so they just fixed everything. And they fixed my auto threader. I think it was like $15 to replace the auto threader. I know that you can get the spare parts. You can get the spare parts from like Amazon. There is a sewing machine repair part website that you can get from. But yeah, it was relatively cheap. But from what I understand, the auto threaders go out all the time. It just really depends on how much is it worth to you. I thread manually. So I have not tried hats with this machine. I've not seen like any kind of a tutorial or anything like that for a machine this small to do hats. I do know that it can be done. I just don't know how it can be done. But I have definitely learned that make sure your foot is down before you try to thread it. I believe that is how I bent mine the first few times. They have a hat attachment for this machine. Ooh. I might have to look at that then. The only hat attachments that I had seen were for the PE 800. And then for whatever reason, when this machine came back from the shop, the thread cutter, it will come out, cut the thread, and then it'll take the thread back in and get it nice and caught up on stuff. Didn't do that before. So here we go so far. The original design for this has her without a mouth. But I put a mouth on there just because I thought it looked a little strange. But now that she's stitched out, she may not need a mouth. I don't know. We're going to see here. We is going to see. Alright, let's back up here and catch up. I love Grinchy. He's absolutely adorable. So this is an embroidery machine. It is a Brother SE625, but you can sew on it as well. I got this at Walmart, and it was relatively inexpensive. You can, they'll be smaller, but you can make key fobs on these machines. These are not iron-on patches. You could make them iron-on patches. These are Felties. They are stitched out front and back with felt. You can also stitch them out on marine vinyl if you choose. Occasionally, I try to. But I haven't here in a minute. We just got through doing a really nice buy one get one half off sale on embroidery designs, but I'm laying off doing any kind of sales until Black Friday. Black Friday through Cyber Monday, we're going to have a really nice sale. So, and I'm not telling anybody what the sale is because I want it to be a surprise. Because it's going to be fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic, y'all. Oh, we need to put our back on first. I have actually not tried to stitch any of my stuff out on, like, t-shirt material or anything like that. I probably should. Like, that's probably something that I should try. I do have a lady that purchases some things, and she stitches them out on, she makes bags. And she stitches them out on her bags, so I don't know if, I don't know what material she's using, though. Yes, Grinchy is a bow. I just came up with him, just the other day. And he's stinking cute. I love him. You would probably have to send me a direct message. To send me a link to anything. Oh, trust me, he's gonna make his appearance probably by the end of the week. I'm just waiting. I like to stitch my bows out on felt first to make sure everything is going to work okay. And then I'll go back and I'll do a final stitch on faux leather. Like this one I stitched out on faux leather. And like this is what I would use for a product photo. I'll use both images as a product photo. Because some people do like to stitch out on felt for their bows. No big deal. So, I'm just waiting for the green leather that I ordered to come in. Okay, so there's our mini. She's fucking cute. She's kind of fat, though. I think she's a little fat. I may make her just a touch bit skinnier. She looks a little watermelonish. But anyways, she's adorable. Okay, so now we're gonna check out our chocolate chip cookie that I made for Santa here. I have a Happy Meal set that I need to do too. Yeah. Pink. Where's my freaking pink? If you're asking if I sell the designs, yes I do. I sell these designs. That's not the same pink. This one is. Now we're going to go on with our chocolate chip cookie to go along with our glass of milk. Because I'm goofy like that. That's what I'm talking about. That freaking thread cutter pulls my damn thread back and it pulls through, you son of a bitch. And it didn't do that before I sent it to the repair shop. It came back like that. And they had it for 2 months, and I'm not sending it back for something that's really insignificant. I have all kinds of other designs. I have a whole website and an Etsy page full of designs. The easiest way to send me a message is through any of my social medias or my email address. What happened? Oh, nothing happened. Alright, so we got some pink little cheeks because that's a requirement. Gotta have pink cheeks on a cookie, right? I make my own. I have designed all of these images. Or all of these files, I should say. I did not design the images. The images, I buy SVG files and I convert them to embroidery designs. I use Hatch embroidery software to digitize with. I sell my individual files for $4.50, $4. I always encourage everybody to shop my website because it's cheaper than Etsy. My Etsy shop, everything is priced a little bit more because, you know, their fees and all. So the better price is always on my website. Always. I sell these in individual files and I sell them in sets as well. Like all of our cookies here. Not you. You're not a cookie. Like all of these cookies, these are all listed as an individual file, or you can buy the whole set together. Some people prefer buying the whole set together because it is priced a little cheaper than if you bought each individual file. You're welcome. No problem. I have no problem answering those kind of questions. And I do have a direct link to Hatch's website on my link tree. Whoops, I forgot the Care Bear. We did the Care Bear last week too. This one was actually a customer request. She messaged me through Etsy and asked if I could do a Care Bear head. So we got her a Care Bear head. Hi Kathy, how are you? We are embroidering today, and this is a chocolate chip cookie to go along with our glass of milk that goes along with our Santa Claus. Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole there. This machine is a Brother SE625. It's a sewing and embroidery combo. So you get 2 machines for the price of 1. And you can buy this machine at Walmart. Under $400. Thank you guys for the follows and the likes and the shares. Somebody was saying earlier that their Walmart had them marked down to like $200. But I don't know. I don't think my Walmart sells these machines anymore. Every time, both of these machines stop at the same time. I've actually never sewn with this machine. I've never sewn with it. When I took it out of the box, I took the sewing foot off, put the embroidery foot on, and never even played with it like that. I have a sewing machine that I use, so I just never thought about it. Okay. So this drives me nuts. I have to cut all of my jump stitches before I go on to the next little thing here. These little snips are the best little snips in the world. I got them off of Amazon, and I did some updating to my link tree, and I kind of have a material list on there now. And it's got these snips on it. It's got the stabilizers that I use. It's got links to the thread that I buy. I get my thread from Amazon. I know some people don't like it. I love it. I've never had a real problem with it, but I think the people that have the most problems with it are the ones that are using commercial machines. I don't think it's commercial machine friendly. I think it's more single needle friendly. I actually don't know the difference between the Disney machine and this machine, so yeah. I've never had anybody ask me to sell wholesale before, but these are Felties. You can use them for whatever your imagination lets you come up with. I use them for bow centers. This one is stitched out on it's a holographic glitter vinyl. I put them on hair clips. Just a little clippy. I put them on cup cozies. I've started making some crochet bags that I will put bigger ones on crochet bags. Magnets. You can put a magnet on the back of it, and it's a cute little magnet. I put magnets on my oopsies, just because I do. That's just what I do. Badge reels. People use them on badge reels a lot. Okay, so show how I finish my edges. Okay, so what do you mean? by finishing my edges. So like this guy, he's ready for his outline stitch, and he's ready to be done. So basically, this is what we have, and I'll just take another piece of felt and put on the back to cover it up, cover up all of our ugly stitches, and then I slide him back on. I don't use adhesive spray. I probably should, but I don't. I don't like it, so I don't use it. And then we just stitch a finishing stitch around the outside, and then we'll cut around it. You can visit my website, or you can go to my Etsy shop. Everything is typically cheaper on my website. You can follow the link in my bio, and it will take you directly to my website, and you can essentially, everything that I have available to a certain point, I do have, like, this over here is not uploaded yet, but everything like over this side is uploaded. And then you just order however many you want. And then actually, so if it's a wholesale order, this is what I would do. Like, fill up your cart with whatever you want, and then don't check out, because typically wholesale orders do get a discount. And that's just anybody that does wholesale orders. They typically get a discount for a certain number of designs. So, yeah. So, yeah. Fill up your cart. Send me an email. And I will chit-chat with you. Yes, I do have a Facebook group. I have a Facebook page. You can follow the link in my bio, and it will take you directly to my Facebook page. You just want a solid Christmas grab bag? Yeah, it would be possible. I would just have to add that option, but yeah, it's totally doable. I don't know if there is a comment section. I don't remember if I turned that on in the checkout or not, to leave comments. I may need to check that out. We'll check that out. Alrighty. Chocolate chip cookie and a glass of milk. And I did do these where they're actually together, just like that as well. Okay. I don't know. I would have to do some mathises to see which would be, like, you know, a better deal. Because one thing about anything that I do, I am not going to overprice my stuff. I never have. I've never liked it. Yes, that is a Care Bear. I've never thought that, you know, overpricing my stuff just to make $1 was worth it. So, yeah, that's just the way I've always been. It's not going to make me rich by any means, but I don't care. I don't care about making it rich. I like making other people happy. So, there's our Minnie Mouse. Okay, so I'm torn on Minnie. I don't know whether I like her mouth or not. I do not know whether or not I like that mouth. The original image had no mouth, but I put one on there just to see what it looks like. I don't know. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got going on here? I've not done any NFL. I haven't thought about doing NFL. I could possibly do NFL. La 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 la. You can order either from my Etsy shop or from my website. Both are linked in my bio. I have not got a Christmas grab bag on there yet, but I will do that as soon as we're done here. Actually, you know what, let me write that down so I can remember. Where those little shits? They took off with all my paper. Well, we'll see how easy is it to write on embroidery stabilizer. Okay, so Christmas grab bags. Okay, done. It's right there. Right there. Christmas grab bag. I buy my felt at Hobby Lobby. That's just the cheapest that I've been able to find it, and I even did the math a little bit, and it's cheaper just to buy it in the pre-cut squares than the by the yard. Even though they do 40% off on their fabric, the felt is not included in that. So I just buy the squares, plus they have more colors in the squares. And you can order the files off of my website or my Etsy shop. All of my social media, everything is the link tree in my bio. I've not tried embroidering on t-shirts. So this is what I tell everybody. If you want to know what's going on, join my Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. I post everything there. When sales start, when I've uploaded new things, like all of the new stuff that we have just done, my Facebook group is the first place that I post anything. I feel as if it's just like a little extra perk that you guys get to know when things come out first. Because I'm cool like that. Okay, so what am I doing here? I need some stabilizers. I design on, I use Hatch Embroidery to design with. Putting these on a shirt, the settings that I use in my embroidery program, everything is set to stitch out on cotton. So, and I think it's pure cotton. Let me look. Yeah, everything is set to stitch out on pure cotton. So, I mean, I have played around with stitching. I think I stitched out one time on fabric, and it came out okay. But again, it was cotton. It wasn't like t-shirt cotton. It was more like fabric cotton. You know what? Let me go grab a piece of t-shirt material and we will try this. You can never find anything when you're looking for it quickly. Okay, so I've got some scraps of just whatever here. Let me find a small piece. If I can find a small piece, I guess not. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is still, it's still going to stretch, kind of like t-shirt material. So yes, that is Tinkerbell. She is our free embroidery design for the month of November. And she will actually come in 2 different designs. She'll come with the wing applique piece where you can make her a snow globe-ish. Or she will come as just regular stitch her out on felt. Actually, we're going to need to rehoop this. So I know sometimes settings and what have you, they need to be different to stitch on other kinds of materials and what have you. But, ooh, okay, get in there. Oh, shit. Mother puss bucket. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to make sure it's nice and tight in there. We're going to make sure it's nice and tight, but not too tight, because it'll end up messing things up. Okay. So just a cuz, we'll go ahead and do this little package here. You're welcome for free designs, Kathy. You have to join my Facebook group to get the free design. This one is not uploaded yet. We just tested it out this morning to make sure that it was going to work okay. But as soon as we get off of here, so probably like later this afternoon, later this evening, I will have it up there. The link will be posted and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're not going to put any felt down on this, so I don't need a placement stitch. I mean, I guess I could put felt on here if I wanted to, but I don't want to. We're just going to stitch this right directly on. Alrighty, so we'll see how well this does. And again, I've just got tearaway stabilizer on there, so yeah, he looks a little, I don't know, we'll see. Okay. So definitely, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to look or not. I've never done anything on, like, fabric. Shame on me, right? I got this fabric at Joann's last year. I made headbands out of them. And it doesn't stretch all that well. It's cute, but it doesn't stretch that well. It's possible. And I'm also kind of thinking that maybe it's this material that's not looking so great. We'll wait until we get everything done. Maybe putting another piece of fabric down on top of it, like an actual applique, would have been the better choice. I'm not sure. But like I said, this material is kind of funky, and it doesn't stretch all that well. It's weird. I don't like it. It's probably why it's in the scrap bin. And it could be that I just am using the incorrect stabilizer as well. Because you can use the wrong stabilizer. So that's exactly what I was thinking. So this actually might have done better with the cutaway stabilizer. Like, the cutaway stabilizer reminds me of landscape fabric. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Okay. Not a fan. Not a fan. So we're going to back up. Okay. We're just going to tear this off. And, okay, so once I took it off, it looked better, but it still doesn't look great. Okay, where's my cutaway shit here? So we're going to try this with a piece of cutaway. Come on. I can't grab a hold of things today. Get over here. The internal struggle. Oh, hey, we are not done trying yet. We are going to try until we cannot try any longer. Because that's, I mean, honestly, I've got some blankets that I need to do, and I've been putting it off and putting it off because I just don't. It's for my neighbor, and I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive because I've never done it before, and that's just kind of how I get when I've not done anything like that before. So this right here, this is a good trial and error. So yes, it's good. It's good. It's fine. It's okay. So we'll see if this stitches out better with cutaway, since it's not as stiff. I didn't know there was a 630. I mean, I know the new machine that they came out with, I think that replaces this model, is like an LP blah 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 or something like that. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up because I do not know what the difference is. Did not know about it. So it looks a little bit better, but I think this material is just shit. So technically, these are not patches. These are stitched front and back with felt. Now, you can forego the felt backing, and you can just use you just apply heat and bond directly to the back of the stabilizer after you've trimmed all the ugly stitches and stuff, and then cut it out that way. So I think it would definitely I think this material is kind of crappy, so that is probably what is giving me some problems here. Because of just the way it's pulling. But I think if I was to put down a piece of cotton over it, it wouldn't be pulling, or you wouldn't see that it's pulling that. You're welcome, Kathy. I have just recently learned about the heat and bond. So the felt back, once the design gets to a certain point, it's going to start stitching an outline. So like you see on this one, and this is not typically how I design my files. I don't typically do this offset, but I thought I would just kind of do some things a little different here. But like this outline here is a completely different step. You would put the felt on, and then you would stitch this around it, and that's going to stitch and hold it on. And that's what makes a Feltie a Feltie. Okay, I'm kind of over this one. This material sucks. It just sucks. It's fine. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. So I think definitely stitches would need to be redone a little bit. The densities would need to be loosened and all that good stuff. So as for stitching these directly to anything, no. I wouldn't stitch these on t-shirts or anything like that. That's going to stretch. Okay. So heat and bond. You can, whoops, everything's falling. You can get this stuff at Walmart. You can get this stuff at Hobby Lobby. This is what it is. It's heat and bond. It's just an iron-on adhesive. It's got 2 layers, or you've got a front and a back that is sticky. You iron on one sticky part directly to your embroidery stabilizer, and then the other part, if you're going to use it immediately, or if you would sell patches or what have you, if you're going to sell it, then you leave the paper covering the other side of the sticky, but then you would take and apply it directly to whatever you're going to apply it to and iron it on. Pretty simple. You can get that stuff at Walmart, you can get it at Joann's, you can get it at Hobby Lobby, you can get it off Amazon. Okay, little package. Let's get you done this time. Too small, okay. And I also, I hold on to my scrap pieces to test my designs on. Because why would I want to cut up a whole piece when I can use scrap pieces and it'll be just fine. I use Hatch embroidery software to digitize my images with. my customers, they use them for the same things that I use them for. They use them for hair bows and cup cozies and hair clips. All kinds of stuff. Yeah. So basically everything that I have shown you that I do with them is what other people that I sell to do with them. So yeah. I have actually looked at doing some of those. I've not found any that I just like yet. But no. I have I thought about like paper doll travel sets, or I guess, you know, felt dolls. My little nephew, when he comes over, he's 6. And like, I'll use these just to take pictures of, to upload to my Etsy shop and my website. But then after that, I just toss them in a bin, and I don't really do anything with them after that. So he comes over, and he raids my Feltie bin, and he just plays with them. And so, you know, he gets mad at me every once in a while. Where is the matching friends? I have to have them all. Okay, you know what? I ain't got time for you right now, little man. Just get you some stuff and go. So yeah. I'm actually surprised when he was over yesterday, he didn't demand the new Christmas ones. Because he's a pretty demanding little chap. But that's alright. So this right now, this is felt. Even though we have just discovered that these designs do not go good on, like, cotton fabrics. But they work out beautifully on felt and faux leather. Ooh, I didn't think about a travel zoo or farm. Ideas. I mean, I did. This is one of, I did do these the other day. This blank file is available to download for free on in my Facebook group. And then you can add your own images to it to make little holiday banners. Because, yeah, why not? You know, it was just something we were talking about one day in a live stream, and we were thinking, oh, those would be really cute to make holiday banners with. I think we were talking about the Christmas cookies here. And so I was like, okay, I gotta do it. We gotta whip up a banner. And I made it available as a blank template for all of my Facebook friends. Since they were the ones that came up with the idea. Yay. So, basically, what you would do is you would put your foam down first, and then you would put your felt on top of the foam, and it would stitch all in that way. You would basically just stitch over the foam, and it would still make it nice and puffy. You're welcome. I can do custom orders. But it takes a little bit of extra time to do custom orders. And it's all on what my skill level will allow. Because believe it or not, I've only been digitizing just a few months. Yes, I make all of my own files. But I pick up on things really, really quickly, and things like that. But it also helps to have a good user-friendly program, and Hatch software is the easiest that I have figured out to use by far. It is very user-friendly. Yep, those Apple computers. And unfortunately, Hatch is one of the only softwares that gives you a full free trial. Like, you don't get that free trial option with Brilliance. So that's the only reason that I even really use Hatch, is because I loved the free version, and so that's what I kept using. The fabric we're using, we're just stitching out on felt. Felt and 2 layers of tearaway. So I import typically PNG files. I buy SVG files off of Etsy and a couple other websites that are floating around out there. And I use the PNG file of that SVG and I import it into my digitizing software, digitize the image, and then I bring it over into my machine and stitch it all out. No problem. Plug it in here. Okay. So this little guy is just about done. Okay. So basically, if you wanted to make this into a patch, you wouldn't put the back piece of felt on. You just go ahead and let it finish stitching out, and then you would put your heat and bond on the back of that and then cut it out. But since these are Felties, they get that front felt and back felt, and then they can be glued to whatever you want to glue them to. And my preferred hot glue is Gorilla Glue. That stuff works wonderful. And like if it gets wet or anything like that, you have to wash it. It's going to withstand the water. Because like especially with this being a cup cozy, it's just hot glued on, and like, let's see here, the inside is going to be directly against any of the moisture coming off of my cup, so that Gorilla Glue works really good against the moisture. And if any of you guys are just joining, I do have a Facebook group. You don't have to be an embroiderer. You don't have to own a machine or anything like that. I post other things on there too, because I make a lot of things. I make a lot of different things. So you can join. You can ask for help if you're having trouble with something. I do give free designs if you have an embroidery machine. This little design right here will be our November freebie. I just have to get her uploaded. She's not uploaded yet. We just tested her out this morning. That would be really cute. That would be really cute. A little form. Okay. So get our stitches trimmed here. And there's our cute little package. And there's actually still a polar bear that goes in with that set. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I was kind of Christmased out for a second. So, what are we going to do next? What's next, and will it fit? Okay, so this little guy, it's Pluto, and he's a reindeer. I use Hatch embroidery design software. It is a little bit pricey, but it's very user-friendly, and they offer a payment plan option. But you can always just test it out. They have a free 30-day trial if you want to just test it. That's what I did. I tested it on every computer in my house for like 6 months. I put it on every computer in my house. When one trial would run out, I'd confiscate one of the kids' computers. Yeah. And do it that way. Brown, 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 brown. I think this one. Thank you so much. I make hair clips. I make hair clips with them. I make hair bows with them. I put them on cup cozies. I put bigger ones on crochet bags. I have a customer that buys the designs. She has me resize them for her. She sews them directly onto like vinyl bags. Badge reels, put them on badge reels. My thread is, let's see here. Ugh. It's just a single. I have just a single needle machine, so it's just thread right on the top like a regular sewing machine. Okay, let's see here. You going to be big enough? Nope. I'll just do the whole piece then. That's just a lot of practice right there. That's just a lot of practice to be able to change everything so fast. Thank you guys for the likes and the follows and the shares and all that good stuff. Like, that auto threader is a lifesaver. Don't need that one anymore, I don't think. White. And it's really funny. I can't thread my machine with my right hand. I have to thread it with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed. Exactly. Exactly. What link did you click on? Is it just doing a blank page, or is it like giving you an error of some sort? That's strange. Let me see if there's anything going on. The backing, when it comes to it over here, it will show. No, I just use a regular embroidery needle for felt. Okay, so I just clicked on the link and it opened just fine. That was on my desktop though. I don't have, where is that? Oh. Let me see if it does the same thing on my phone here. Because it's been giving me problems on, like, but I think it's just my mobile device that gives me problems, though. It'll just be a blank screen. This machine is a Brother SE625. You can get this at Walmart for really cheap. And by really cheap, we're talking under $400. So, yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not really sure, but it's taking a long time to load. So, I don't know why it's taking a long time to load, but it just takes a long time to load. Like, what do you mean by anything else? Hello, Michelle. How are you today? No, it is not, it's not Wi-Fi operated. You can't use it with your phone. I mean, it's computerized, but still have to tell it to do like basic functions. You can do all kinds of things. As for, you can stitch t-shirts, you can stitch blankets. This is just the style of things that I do. So there is a multitude of different things that you can do with it. I have made a blanket or two with this machine. But it was an applique blanket, so it wasn't stitched directly onto the fabric. So this isn't a sewing machine. This is a embroidery machine. And it just has a sewing capability. Jeez fucking Lou. My husband does not understand that when I don't answer the phone, it means I'm busy. And so he calls 15 times in a fucking row to say, "What are you doing?" Because he's on his lunch break. Okay. Well, you can just stay there right there. Okay. So let's catch back up on some questions here. So we are making Felties. We are stitching out some new designs I made last night. As for anything you want, if you can get it digitized, you can stitch it out. These don't necessarily stitch out on anything other than felt or vinyl, faux leather. So it is kind of limited what you can do. I am stitching out my own designs. I have digitized all of these designs. And right now, we're just testing designs to see if everything is working out okay, and all that good stuff, so I can upload the designs to my shop. He actually is not allowed to get on my TikTok. Because, yeah. It typically takes me, and it all depends on if I'm really focused on getting things designed or if I'm being interrupted every 5 minutes by dogs and children and men. I think this particular design was maybe 15 minutes. It doesn't take long. And then, you know, it just depends on how stitch intensive it is, on how long it's going to take to stitch out. And yes, I do sell my designs. They are on my website and in my Etsy shop. All except for this group over here is already on my website and in my Etsy shop. These are what we have stitched out today. And these are what I need to upload later. Honestly, I think it all depends on, like, what kind of software you're using. Some softwares are a little more user-friendly than others. I use Hatch, which I have found to be extremely user-friendly. And then, of course, practice makes perfect. My Etsy shop and my website are all linked in my bio. There are direct links in my link tree to everything. That's kind of the quickest way to get there. Sometimes if you type it in, it doesn't necessarily come up. So I just tell everybody just to follow the link. And I also have a Facebook group that I post in. I post all of that. That's the information center. I post in there when sales are going to be, coupons, free stuff. Our little Tinkerbell here, she is going to be, whoops, let's fall over here. She's going to be our freebie for the month, and all that good stuff. But definitely join the Facebook group if you want to keep in the loop of everything. I always post, like, when I get these uploaded, my Facebook group will be the first ones to know. And I typically tell my Facebook group a day or two before I post it to any of my other groups. Just little perks. Son of a bitch. Got a box I'm putting my foot on and it keeps caving in. Okay. Ouch. That hurt. Okay. So here's our little Pluto so far. He's looking so cute. And he doesn't look like he's going to have any problems either. Well, thank you. I think they're pretty cute. On this machine, the largest I can do is a 4x4. I have a 5x7 machine too. Obviously, it'll do a 5x7 space. Oh shit! What am I taking this off for? He's ready to be done. Ugh. Alright, well, I need to change that stitch setting. I just use, I just buy my felt from Hobby Lobby. It's just plain acrylic felt. You can use the more expensive wool felt, but I personally am okay with the acrylic felt. To me, it doesn't feel any different. So, I mean, I could understand if it actually felt a little different, but for me, it doesn't. There's a Facebook group that you can join. It should have been linked to my business page. Alright, so let's cut out our little Pluto here. Alrighty, so there's Pluto. He's a really cute little reindeer. He's going to be one of our new ones. You most certainly do not have to use wool felt if you don't want to. I don't use wool felt, A, because I just test these out, and B, it helps keep the cost down for the people that just buy the Feltie sheets. My dogs are barking at the mailman. My mom taught me how to cross stitch. She did cross stitch quite a bit. I could never quite get the hang of it. Alrighty, and there's our little package. Alrighty, so there's only just a few little things that I have to go back and fix. It's nothing major. And all of these guys that we have stitched out today, they will be ready to upload pretty damn quick. So we've done Baymax Santa. We did our cute little holiday mini. Then, of course, our adorable little Pluto. We did our package. We did our cookies and milk. And then we started off with our really cute snow globe Tinkerbell. She will be the embroidery design freebie in the Facebook group for the month. So if you're, I forgot what I was saying. So if you're a member of the group, I will be uploading this soon, and crap, and you guys can snag this. And this will come in the applique version, where you can put the glitter in it yourself, or it will come in a non-applique version, where you can use like glitter felt, or plain felt, whichever you prefer. I do sell the bow embroidery files. I need to go back and tweak these just a little bit more to make them ready. But yes, these will be available soon as well. So yeah, that I believe is going to be it for me today. I have a few little things to do, and then I will start getting everything uploaded. And again, join my Facebook group, because I will post there immediately once these things are on there. And I will let everybody know that they are there. Bye, Susan. Glad you got to join. So yeah. Everybody have a great day. Join my Facebook group. And I will see everybody again really soon. Bye.